This is a first and second stimulus check update. In this video, I'll go over the check delivery timeline for the first stimulus. And for the second stimulus, I'll give updates as well as answer common questions: who gets it, how much, and when you should expect it. The IRS isn't given exact numbers, but it's estimated to be around 10 to 20 million people who haven't yet received their first stimulus check, which is a lot of people. First, let's go over this. According to SSA.gov, for representative payees, the date here is going to be for individual representative payees start receiving the payments May 22nd via direct deposit or direct express card. And if you usually get your monthly government payment via paper check, then you will receive it on, well, not receive it, it'll be mailed out on May 27th, and it could take up to 14 days. In regards to SSI, SSDI, veterans, if you normally receive a direct deposit, I've gotten a lot of comments saying that they have a direct deposit pending for May 28th. So thank you so much for letting us know. And if this is you, let us know down in the comments below. I think it helps out the community of when people should expect their check. And if you are a tax filer, this is the paper check schedule. So this past Friday, if you made $40,000, $50,000, that's when it'll be mailed out on May 22nd. And this upcoming Friday, if you made less than $60,000, it'll be mailed out on May 29th, and it could take up to 14 days delivery time. Before we move on to second stimulus check updates, I just wanted to say Happy Memorial Day. I hope everyone is staying safe, and I wanted to thank all of our veterans, past and present, women, men. Thank you so much for your service to making this an amazing country. I know a lot of us are going through hard times right now, but we really do live in an amazing country. And just want to give a big thanks to all our men and women in uniform. Before we move on to the second stimulus check, I just wanted to get your opinion on this. What do you think about all these clips going around of no social distancing over this Memorial Day weekend? Things like this, do you think there's going to be a second wave? Do you think this is okay? Is the coronavirus behind us? I would love to get your opinion on your thoughts on this and everything that's going on. Now let's move on to the second stimulus check updates. I get asked on a regular basis, when are we getting our second stimulus check? Am I eligible to get a second stimulus check? I'm going to answer those two questions right now. First, I want to debunk a myth that's been going around. So this site right here, AS, it's a Spain-based news site, and they don't deliver the best news just because they say stuff, but there's no quotes to back it up. On this channel, I'm always providing the facts. I always look for the exact quote from credible news sources. This way you get the unbiased, accurate truth. AS, I'm not saying it's a bad news source, it's a Spain-based news source, and this rumor has been spreading around. So on this site, it says Senior Director of Federal Tax Policy at the Center of Budget and Policy, the CBP. So Chuck Marr, he says, the deadline for a vote on HEROES Act would be just before Senate's 2-week break ahead of July 4th weekend. Now, what does that mean? I found the exact quote. So a lot of people are thinking, and this is going around on a lot of YouTube channels too, I just want to debunk this. There is not a July 4th deadline to vote for the HEROES Act. What was really said, according to CNBC, Chuck Marr said Republicans are hanging back. Then he says, I think downward economic pressure will force action over time. Then he says, political schedules tend to run around holidays, and then so that July 3rd date will likely become the next deadline for something to get done, he said. Although that last part isn't in quote. So anytime there's news, you always want to make sure there's an exact quote on record. Otherwise, opinion-based articles could jump to conclusions and then everybody is misinformed. So I just want to say, he did not say there's a July 4th deadline for the HEROES Act. He is not part of the Senate, therefore what he's saying doesn't really hold much weight. So what he's talking about with the vacation schedule, recess schedule, state work period, whatever you want to call it, I try to point this out as much as possible. So currently the Senate is on break, right? Starting today to the 29th, but it actually started last Friday. And they are coming back June 1st. They work a few weeks, and then they're off July 3rd to July 17th. So most likely between June 1st and if we look at the July schedule, their last day in session is July 2nd. Now, I I can't get over how insane this is. I actually never looked at their schedules of when they worked until I started doing all these stimulus updates, and it's just mind-boggling. So they're off July 3rd, so Thursday afternoon. So they're off July 3rd, and if we look, we got a week here, a week here. So exactly 2 weeks from the 3rd to the 17th of work days, but they're not coming back on the 18th. So then the 19th, they're actually going to get back to work in session on the 20th. That's insane. From all the way from the 3rd until the 20th, they are not obligated to do any work. They could do whatever they want. Meanwhile, with millions of Americans struggling, trying to find work, trying to pay their bills, they are making $174,000 and taking weeks off. It's almost a week off every month if we look at this schedule, which is just ridiculous. So in terms of when you should expect to see a second stimulus check, it'll probably be 2 weeks after the actual bill is signed by Senate, and then probably the next day signed by President Trump. And then 2 weeks from that point is probably when they'll send out the checks. When that happens with the signing of the bill, when it becomes a law, we do not know. Next, let's talk about how much. A lot of people are still asking, are we getting a recurring payment? What happened to the $2,000 a month? At this time, the proposal or the bill that was already passed in the House, still waiting for the Senate, is a one-time payment of $1,200. Now, this entire bill is going to be remodeled, revised. It's going to have a lot of changes of exactly how it passed in the House. Payment is an option that can still be changed. Although it's $1,200 payment now, it could be more, could be less, could be recurring, although it's not likely. I'm also getting a lot of questions if people on SSI, SSDI veterans, a lot of the people who are getting monthly payments by the government, are they receiving the second stimulus check as well? Are they eligible? Yes. So SSI, SSDI, veterans, pretty much everybody, just like the CARES Act, they are getting a stimulus check. With one addition, adult dependents are able to get a stimulus check. This was a big issue with the CARES Act. A lot of adults who were claimed as dependents were not eligible for a stimulus check with the first round. With the second round, they are. And it has the same individual income cap of $99,000 or less. And pretty much the only people excluded from getting the second stimulus check is anybody without a social security number. So regardless of immigration status, citizen status, if you do not have a social security number, you most likely will not get a stimulus check. And if you want to watch more second stimulus check updates, you could click this playlist over here or this video over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.